Now, um, after like the first two videos being things that I wanted to talk about, I think that it is quite important for me to whip up some new ideas and just like starts making things that is a bit more on the trend with the general masses of YouTube. And after surfing YouTube, I've found myself surprisingly close to what some can call animated vloggers, and or something like grade A under A, which of course are great content makers, I guess, in some varying degree. I hope, but of course, I need to keep myself unique to myself, so I'm just going to call myself a doodler. Basically, a guy who like to occasionally make drawings of stuff just because. You don't need no reasons. Seriously, reasons are for nerds. Anyway, I've realized that this is my situation, and thus the logical conclusion is that for the direction of the PVC channel, it should actually go is that the PVC's channel creator should like get a bit more personal and build a warm relationship with his viewers. And after like saying that, I have actually realized that in order to present this exploration of my personality, I have decided to split it into four parts. And of course, a personality consists of four primal emotions of the human mind, which is anger, fear, grief, and of course, joy. Ah, yes. Actually, now that I think about it, actually, most emotions that we tend to have is actually horrible, like 3 out of 4. Like, why is that a thing? Uh, humans are always like the negative type. But anyway, let's not get off topic and let's just talk of the most popular emotions of all. Drum roll, please. Fear. Now, you find it in the news, you find it in your parents' eyes, you find it in your eyes when facing your parents, and it's the emotion that you will always stick with due to the unfortunate human instinct for self preservation. Now, my biggest fear that I have, the first one I can think of at least, is surprises or jump scares. Like, now, of course, that's very common for most people. That's exactly, literally a general human instinct, and everyone has it. For example, when you turn on the lights in the kitchen and you see a cockroach, you get spooked. When you crank a jack in the box, and sooner or later, nothing happens. You realize the box is probably broken, and then you flip it over, and you want to like screw out the nuts of the box in order to seek out like the problem within the box, but then the jack pop out of the box, and you got spooked. Yes, very terrifying. Getting scared of surprises is natural, and this is probably a not very interesting fear, but quite unfortunately for me, other than death, I am not really afraid of anything else because I am such a brave boy. Yes, very, very brave. Now, most people fear things like sharks or the ocean, but like when I encounter such fears and when I think about it, it's like, you know what? Let's just like pour a shitload of deadly chemicals into the ocean. I mean, we've got loads of deadly chemicals anyway. Let's just kill everything that is inside the ocean so then we don't have to care about the deadly whatever scary majigger everywhere there. But then, like, even though we have the ability to exterminate those darn pests, we won't do it. Why? We clearly fear them. Ah. Now, what about another common fear, which is fear of riding on airplanes? Yes. Now, statistically, the death by aircraft is actually getting less and less likely, and that's really, if I not really gonna die from it, I'm not really gonna be that much afraid of it because, like for example, turbulence, of course, shakes the aircraft a lot, and it spooks me a little bit. But what I just think that I'm not really gonna die. I just kind of imagine that God is probably farting. Yes, God's turbulence is just God's farts. Yes, very very funny indeed. Now, if you actually don't know, statistically speaking, people actually die more from car crashes than they die from aircrafts. So really, aircraft turbulence is more like a proof of our great aviation technology being able to withstand Mother Nature's aero barrier called turbulence, and that driving is actually a really deadly way to kill yourself inside of a mobile diesel powered metal box. But really, to be quite honest, I'm not really afraid of either because my dad is a great driver. Actually, yes, of course. Now, then what other more common fears do we have? Is yes, the old age fear of darkness. Basically, the absence of light, the horror of the unknown, the spookiness of uncertainty. Oh, truly terrifying. But then again, like statistically speaking, the chance of me finding a spooky ghost in the darkness is actually relatively low, exactly like less than 1%. I mean, even if I see the ghost, I can't see the ghost because there's no light. What a damn shame, really. Like, when you think about even harder, just maybe, just maybe, finding out a ghost might not really be that much of a bad thing because you can use it to make stories in YouTube, huh? I mean, yeah, that's not really a bad thing. So be more in the dark. Wish you can see a ghost. Be YouTube famous. Grab those subscribers and whatever, Majigga. Ah, well, that's like mostly the things that most people fear that I don't fear. And to make like a good conclusion to what I actually fear, I am usually just afraid of surprises and death. Now, it probably concludes that my personality is just uh relatively colorful. Maybe, I hope. So let's just hope that I actually have a bit more color in my grief or happiness or anger parts. All right.